All right, so welcome to Inner Workings Self Driven Therapy. I was just looking over your file, or at least what you've provided to the front office, and it says here that you have sought out other therapy, other types of therapy, and this is your last resort. So, usually when we see stuff like that, we take it a little bit more serious than other things. Um, and we'll get into that. Before we get started, I do need to go over a couple of disclaimers and things with you just so that you know kind of what to expect. Everything is a case by case basis, but like I said, with these types of situations, we want to be as delicate as possible, especially at first, but it will get complicated. So, as long as you understand that. Okay, so I said it before. We're definitely going to need to go over that disclosure just because we have or disclaimer. Excuse me, a lot of research these days. I'm separating the terms. But yeah, I do need you to know that this is specifically about you when you come here. In that moment, it's about you. We do our best to just assist you. We don't want to tell you what to do. We do not prescribe medications. We really are not for that. However, if it comes to a point where you feel like medication is best for you, we definitely will be able to accommodate. Again, that's a case by case basis thing. So, with that being said, everything that you feel you need to work on is what we'll work on. Nothing will be forced. And sorry about that. But yeah, so all therapy based things that we do here deal with each individual person. So as these things start to come up, it's very important to keep in mind that it all stems from within. There's some things that are acceptable to, as far as like maybe how you grew up or something like that, or experiences you may had. But again, with reflecting and really getting down to the root of things, we're going to just find out how these things have helped, hindered, or just kept you in stagnation. So, with that being said, let's get started. All right, so with you saying that this is your last resort, can you explain to me, like, kind of what that means and why you see, we'll call it an opportunity, why you see this opportunity as your last resort? I see it as a last resort because I'm not going to continue to look for outside help, for one. For two, I'm not in a position to where I can even like borrow like the funds that it would take to get the therapy that I want to get, you know, because I want to take like a more holistic approach where there's other options outside of just sitting in a any given space and where the therapist just draws pictures and crap and then wants to put you on medication because they think you're crazy. Like, I have enough crazy thoughts going through my mind to consider my own self crazy, so I don't need somebody else to tell me that I'm crazy. Okay, that's completely understandable. So then my next question is, have you ever been able to receive like any type of therapy? Yeah, I received, well, like counseling, um, well, a while back. I think I was in like middle school or high school. But it wasn't because I wanted to. It was more so based off of the fact that my mom and my grandma were, well, I won't even say my mom and my grandma, but pretty much my family, those who were like immediately around me, like will always tell me that I had a negative outlook on life and that I'm a negative person and why I was always so negative. So since I wouldn't really talk to them, then my mom decided to, she tried to give me help, but since I didn't want to, I guess, it really wasn't effective. So I really didn't take it as that type of situation because I felt like it was like kind of forced, maybe. Okay, just taking a few notes here. So then my next two questions, because we'll come back to that, we'll revisit that. How is this opportunity different from any others, and what are you hoping to gain from this experience? This opportunity is different because, like, for once, well, maybe not for once, but just as it pertains to therapy, like, I feel like I'm finally wanting to do it, like, for myself instead of being forced, or instead of, like, being made to feel like just because I grew up a certain way, or just because I didn't agree with a lot of things that, were going on when I was growing up. Like, I feel like I'm doing it for me now and not to prove anything to anybody. It's more of a wanting to be better for myself and my children now, instead of wanting to, like, make my family happy or make them feel like just because I haven't folded or broken completely that, and at least not in front of them. I've had times where I've broken. I've had times where I have folded. But now, like, my well-being means more than the well-being of everybody else until I get myself together. And what I'm hoping to gain is, I don't know, just like my true individuality. I don't want to be necessarily associated with, like, certain things. Like, and when I say that, it's just like running into people. I don't want to keep carrying these labels. Oh, you're so-and-so's granddaughter, you're so-and-so's niece, or you're so-and-so's daughter or sister, or, like, yeah, I am all of that, but I just feel like over time that became like my name. You know what I'm saying? Like, this long ass name of putting that blanket of somebody else over me. And I'm ready to give that part up. I can't really say if it's in its totality, but I'm not living in anybody's shadow anymore. Like, I have to deal with my own shadows. So, yeah, I'm hoping to gain myself above all. Like, who I truly am and who I'm truly becoming and who I was always meant to be. So I'm definitely glad that this was the decision that you're making for yourself, because we've had a lot of people feel like they're ready to, dive in, and they kind of expect that typical, I guess, therapeutic type of situation where, you just come in and I'm going to be badgering you. Like, that's definitely not what's going to happen. I will have questions for you, as you can see, and these are just the entry questions. just so I can kind of gauge where you're at. I saw that you kind of got a little emotional with the last question, and I definitely do want to touch on that some more. But again, this is really having to do with you, your comfortability, and how much that you're able to handle. So if you tell me at any point that, cut it, we're done for the day, I'll respect that. And so with that, I do have one more question. And it is, what will you do if true progress is made? Like, you actually have goals set for yourself and you hit each goal. Like, what will you do at that point? Um, what I'm gonna do, I've been working on like switching my words around, so I'm gonna kind of rephrase your question, even though it's the same one. But what I plan on doing, no, what I'm gonna do when I make progress, like true progress, is I'm going to, for one, be so relieved. For two, I'm gonna live life to the fullest. Like, I'm not gonna continue to let certain things and certain fears hold me back. I'm gonna be who I truly am. Um, I'm gonna help people the best way I can, but I'm going to be at a point where I'm taking time truly for myself when things seem to be too much. And I don't really know how far it's gonna go. So for right now, I'll just say I'm gonna be my true self. All right. Well, um, first and foremost, I want to thank you for choosing our facilities. I'm personally looking forward to helping you. You seem like you have a very bright future and even present, once you work through everything that you need to work through. We're going to wrap it up for this session just so I can finish up my notes and get to know you more. And if it's okay with you, I can send you different things throughout the week just to, keep you on point, and focused. So I'll have to get into my files, get all that stuff squared away, and I will see you next time. Don't hesitate to give me a call if you need to, okay?